What is up, Flutter devs? Today we're going to implement control over the fill color and the stroke color in our continuing port of processing to Flutter. Let's get started. We start here by taking a look at the spec for processing, and you'll notice where my cursor is that there is a fill method, noFill method, well, I guess these are functions or procedures. Fill, noFill, noStroke, stroke functions. And I've opened up each one here at the top. We're going to go one by one and implement each one of these abilities. Fill, given some value, some color-related value, will cause all further shape drawing commands to use that color for the fill. Here we have two examples. noFill essentially results in a transparent fill, as you can see here in this example. Stroke controls the color of stroke. This first one here looks like a mid-range gray stroke. This second example is a orange-ish stroke. noStroke, again, essentially a transparent stroke, visually noStroke. Let's go ahead and implement each of these. Now, following the procedure or the approach that we started in the previous video with implementing circle, let's begin by replicating these examples as test cases and then create the source code that satisfies the tests. Back here in the code, let's go figure out where the test should live. Looking at the spec, color is the heading, setting is the subheading. Color is the heading, and we already have a setting file which we're using for the background tests. We have the color group, we have the setting group. I'm going to go ahead and stick these tests under setting. At some point, we might want to come back and actually group per command. It really depends on how lengthy these tests get. We'll see. For now, I'm going to just have one group here that has all the different settings: background, fill, noFill, stroke, noStroke, etc. To get us started, let's just copy one of these tests and adjust it as needed. We are going to begin by testing fill, and we're going to begin by implementing example 1. We're going to come down here and change the name to color setting fill example 1. I'm going to save. Let's come back to the fill example, and this is what we want to replicate. We therefore want to be able to say s.fill, passing a color, and this color, that's 150 out of 250. Let me divide that out. Let me calculate this. So 153 divided by 255 is 60%, and 60% times 16, 9.6. So I guess 969696. Did I think that's correct? I think the math tracks. We'll find out. Then we want, it looks like we also have to be able to draw a rectangle. S.rect. Let's go look up the definition for a rectangle. I think that actually what we just discovered is that we're gonna want to implement rectangle. Actually, take that back. We'll leave rectangle for another video. What we will do instead for this one, we can test fill just the same by grabbing the implementation for a circle. Here's our test for circle. Let's grab the exact same circle, come back to our test for fill, and let's just draw the circle. This will allow us to do one thing at a time. We just need to implement this fill method. Let's go to core. Here's our background. Let me add some comments here, some demarcations. Let's see, what was it? It was color setting. We'll implement a new method called fill, which takes a color. What it's going to do is then take the fill paint and set the color equal to the color. And that actually should be all there is to it, because that fill paint is used by circle and it will be used by rectangle and everything else. Let's save. Open the terminal, and let's say Flutter test plain name equals fill update goldens test color settings test.dart. Let's see if that runs and gives us what we expect. Let's see, does that match the color? Yeah, different shape, but same color. And again, there's the actual size of the image. Okay, let's take the second example, which is this one here. Gonna stick that right here for a second. Let's take the fill example 1 and let's turn it into fill example 2. And now I've got to convert these numbers to a color. So 204 is essentially, what, 80% red? I don't know what that is. That's, I think I said CC before. 0 blue, and 102, that's 2/5, that's 40%. Something around 6/6 maybe. I don't know, close enough. We want that color-ish. Let's save that. We're going to run the same test, except we're going to specifically generate example 2. Okay, example 2, and there we go. That's what we wanted. Next, let's move to noFill, which is just one example, one test, but this is what we want to do. Again, in our case, we're going to go with circles. Let's come back to our test implementation. Let's take fill example 2, copy, paste. Now we're going to be noFill example 1. noFill example 1. We're going to draw a circle, then we're going to call noFill, then we're going to draw another circle. The offset for these two, I guess as long as they overlap for now, we're fine. Let's put this one at 40 on the X, put this one at 60 on the X, 40 on the Y, 60 on the Y. And then we just need to implement noFill. Void noFill. Now we could nullify fill paint. We could turn fill paint to null. If we take that approach, though, anything that ever uses fill paint is going to have to do a null check. I think it will be simpler and easier if we say fill paint color equals a transparent color. Then the effect is the same, but no one ever has to worry about fill paint being null. Let's see how that works for us. Let's run noFill. Did I get the name wrong? Let's see, what am I missing here? I don't know. Okay, something in that naming. Okay, looks a little bit different in terms of the placement of the circles versus the placement of the rectangles, or squares in this case, but clearly we're achieving the desired effect, right? We had the first one draws with the fill, the second one doesn't, okay? So I think we're good. Here is stroke. The stroke tests are going to be very similar to the two fill tests. So I'm going to copy the two fill tests and I'm going to adjust them for stroke. Color setting stroke, example 2. Here we need to do stroke example 2, then stroke example 1, to do stroke example 1. Here's what we want in the first one. Again, we're not going to worry about a rectangle, but we do want stroke with a color . 150 is 3/5 of 255. Something around that, maybe. Doesn't really matter. I'm just trying to honor the examples, but they're making it difficult by throwing these random integers in there. And this one, I think, is roughly the same as the other orange color. Let me go grab that orange color. And now let's go implement stroke. Stroke paint.color equals color. And while we're here, we know exactly what noStroke is going to look like. Let's go ahead and implement that too. noStroke. Stroke paint.color is transparent. Yeah, okay. Let's run the test for stroke. Two new ones. Here's the first one, a light gray stroke. I don't know if you can make that out on your screens, but there is a, well, kind of a medium gray stroke around the circle. And here there is a burnt orange stroke around the circle. Both results of what we expected, or results that we expected. Finally, coming here to noStroke. Let's make that happen. I'll copy the stroke test and adjust it for noStroke. This is noStroke example 1. noStroke example 1. S dot noStroke. And did I, yeah, okay, it's there. All right. And then we're going to, remember we already implemented it when we were over there implementing stroke. So now we're going to run noStroke. Okay. noStroke. And there it is, a white circle with no stroke. We have successfully implemented all 4 of those methods. So coming back here, setting, we have background, we have fill, we have no fill, we have no stroke, we have stroke. Color mode, I don't think we're ever going to do because Flutter already offers us such great color objects. Clear we'll come to at some point. It doesn't really have much meaning without image objects, but we can implement it for the non-image case if we want. Essentially, we're just going to fill the screen with black whenever clear is called. One thing that I do want to start doing is marking off things in the README. The README has this massive list of all these things we're going to implement. Let's go find background. Okay. I don't remember what the syntax is for filling this in. I don't know if it's a dash or an X or what. I'll do a dash for now. If this isn't right, I'll fix it after this video. But we have background, fill, no stroke, stroke. We have also implemented circle. And let me go back to actually to color mode. And here, I don't know what the markdown is to cross it out. I guess I'll look that up after the video as well. But we essentially want to point out that we're not going to implement color mode because we have color objects that do whatever color mode would do on our behalf. So with that, we are 4 more commands closer to porting processing over to Flutter. In the next video, I'm not sure what we'll work on yet. Maybe more shapes, maybe a different area entirely. We'll see what happens, but I'll see you then.